Hello dear students, welcome back. This 2 marks question is from GATE 2016 exam and you need to find the output of this program. So let us start executing it. Now you very well know execution has to begin with calling of main function. So main function is called, this is the activation record that is pushed for main function. And in first line of this main function, we are declaring an array named A. Suppose this is the array A. This is array name. All its elements are integers. That is these elements. Okay. Suppose array starts from address number 90. So this is 90. If one integer is of 4 bytes, this will be 94, then 98, then so on. Okay. In next line, we are trying to print f a comma 5. That means whatever is returned by this function, we want to print it. That means this function is called. So this line of main function calls another function, which means activation record for the new function has to be pushed. Okay. In this new function, p and n are two local variables. So p, it is a pointer, and n, it is a normal variable. Okay. It's an integer type variable. Now have a look. We are passing a to p and 5 to n. So n gets a value 5. And what is this a? We are passing a to p. So what value will p get? P is going to get 90 because a is array name and array name always represents base address or the address of first element of array. So p gets 90. Now main function called this function in this line. That means whenever this new function ends, we have to come back and resume the execution from here only. Okay. So I'm writing j here. This is line number j and execution will resume from line number j only. Or let us write this j on this side. Now let us see what will happen in new function. Now we have to execute the new function from here. Okay. If n is less than 1, then return 0. No, n is 5. So we will not execute this line. Next line says else return max of these two. Now in question only they have given that max function is going to return maximum of the two parameters passed. Now we want to calculate its value. This is a function call. That means here this function is calling itself. Hence, this is a question from recursion. And here we have to push activation record because new function is being called. Okay. Suppose this is the activation record that is pushed. So new function that is called is f. That means again this function will be called at this line only. So let us call this point as point number k. I am labeling it as k. So have a look. This function called this one at line number k. Okay, that means when this new function ends, we will come back in this function and we have to resume from line number k only. Now in this new function, there is p and n. P is a pointer, n is a integer. Okay, and what are we passing? We are passing f of p plus 1. Now p is 90. P plus 1 will be 94. Okay, don't say P plus 1 is 91. It will be 94. Because of pointer arithmetic. See, what is type of P? P is a pointer to integer. Now, if we want to increment P or if we want to add 1 to P, this means add whatever is size of one integer. Okay, make P point to next integer. Earlier p was pointing here, p plus 1 will point here. Okay, so plus 1 means plus 1 integer. Anyways, next thing that we are passing is n minus 1. N is currently 5, so minus 1 that means 4. So from here 4 is passed. Okay, like this. Now see, in this new function also, n is not less than or equal to 1. That means return 0 will not be executed. Instead, this else part will be executed. Here also, in this line we are calling a function. So one more activation record will be pushed. So the values that we have passed are p plus 1. Currently p is 94. So p plus 1, that means 98 is passed. And n minus 1, this one means 4 minus 1, so 3 is passed. And whenever this function ends, we will come back to this function and we will resume from this point k only. Okay, so here also I am writing k. Now you can see this process will keep on happening until this condition becomes true. See, whenever you call new function, if this condition is false, you will execute this line only. That means again a new function will be called. So let us quickly draw two more activation records. Here n will be equal to 2, then n will be equal to 1. When this n is 1, in that case 0 will be returned. So I am drawing it. Now see, we were here. In this function, n is not less than or equal to 1. Hence, it will execute this line. And when it will come here, again a new function will be called. Okay. So new function that is called as this one. We pass p plus 1. That means 98 plus 1, that is 102. And n minus 1, that is 2. Okay. In this function also, this is false and we call a new function with 102 plus 1, that is 106, and n is equal to 2 minus 1, that is 1. Okay. Now see, when you start executing this function, in first line only, this condition will become true. N is actually less than or equal to 1. Okay. You can see condition is true. So this function will return 0 to its calling function. So we got a value 0. Now, what is this function going to do with that 0? This function will use this value at line number k, wherever the new function, this one was called. Okay. Now see, this function has returned 0, hence its activation record will be popped. Now this function got 0. We called this function, this one, and the value that it returned is 0. So this is 0. Now let us calculate what is p of 0 minus p of 1. So p is 102. P of 0 means this. Okay, so p of 0 is 6. 6 minus p of 1 means this. So this is pointer p. P of 0 means element present at address p. P of 1 means element present at address next to p, this one. So 6 minus 4. That means we have to take maximum of 0 and 2. So maximum of 0 and 2 is returned. So this function returns 2. Okay. 2 is returned to its calling function. Now because this one has returned a value, hence this activation record will be popped. Now this function returned a value to this function. What will this function do of this value? This function is going to use this value at point k or line k. That means now this evaluated to 2 for this function. Okay. The new function that this one called, this function returned 2. So 2 can be used here. Find what is p of 0 minus p of 1. So p is 98. P of 0 means element present at address number 98. See, p is a pointer. Can we use square brackets with the pointer? Yes, we can use square brackets. This means value present at address p plus 0. Okay. Similarly, p of 1 means star p plus 1. Now you already know this is to be solved according to pointer arithmetic. That means address of next element to p. Star means value at that address. So p of 0 for this one will be what is present at 98, that is 2. P of 1 is 6. So this is 2 minus 6, which is minus 4. So take the maximum of 2 and minus 4. Obviously maximum is 2. So this function is also going to return 2 only. Okay. and this activation record will be deleted. Now we are here. Now I am just solving it quickly. See, this function returned 2. So this expression means 2. What is p of 0 minus p of 1? It is 5 minus 2, which is equal to 3. Take the maximum and return it. See, we want to return maximum of these two. That means this function is going to return 3. Okay. And because it has returned a value, so delete this activation record. Now this function got 3. That means at line number k or point number k, this evaluated to 3. Now p of 0 minus p of 1 will be value present at 90. That means this one minus next value. So 3 minus 5 is minus 2. Like this. Now what is the maximum of these two? This is a negative number. So obviously 3 is maximum. That means this one also returns 3. So you can see this function returned 3 to its calling function. So main function will use this value 3 at line number j. Okay. That means here. So this function call returned 3. And we wanted to print whatever is returned by f. So what is printed? 3 will be printed. Answer to this question is 3. Okay.